Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lindsay. Today I'm going to be making a Targaryen inspired arm armor. So this is my attempt yesterday because I'm a chaotic DIYer. I'm not a DIY girl, but when I do something it's chaotic, so I tried it first. It's still, just very homemade basic, but now I have a few steps on how to do it to make it a little easier. So anyone at home could pretty much make this, especially if you're craftier than me, you can definitely make this. So this is all just from like garbage around the house. I do have a place by the ocean, so I was able to get these seashells, but I have seen that you can get them online, or you can just use cardboard and cut them into these shapes and kind of scrunch them, and they'll work just as well too. So to get started, find yourself a piece of cardboard from a box. I eat a lot of crackers, so good old cracker box. So what you're gonna do, I'm very disorganized, very chaotic when I craft. So you're gonna grab a pair of scissors, and obviously you're gonna try to measure it to your shoulder. I'm not great at measuring, I kind of just eyeball it and cut. If you're precise than me and you want to actually measure, go ahead. I'm just chaotic when I craft, I'm sorry. So take a piece of cardboard and you're gonna cut it out. So cut it out, and at the top, kind of circle it a little bit, so that's going to be the upper part of your shoulder. So kind of round it just a little bit. And once again, once it's cut out, you can shape it to your arm a bit better, but you just want like a general cutout that's going to be about your size. So about my size, and then you're going to kind of like mold it to your arm a little bit, just to get a better idea of how it's going to fit. And then you can kind of clean it up a little bit. I need it a little more circular at the top. And don't worry if it's perfect at this stage, because once you start putting stuff on it, you can kind of mold it a bit better. So this part doesn't have to be perfect. It's fine. Unless you're a perfectionist, then I don't know what to tell you. So you're gonna take this, you're gonna find yourself some paper or tissue paper. I have this black tissue paper with like a wax coating, and it's all crinkled. So if it's not pre-crinkled, just crinkle it up. And you're gonna use this and put it over top of your cardboard. So you can use glue, you can use Mod Podge. I'm gonna use paper mache mix because I don't have a big disposable income at the moment, and I like to try to use whatever at my house. So basically what that is just a mixture of flour and water. So you can mix it to like the consistency you like. I just have it here in a pill bottle because I have chronic illness, so I have tons of these lying around, but you just want it to be like a thick kind of consistency, or it can be a little runny, kind of like a glue, whichever works best for you. So you're gonna take this and you're gonna find yourself a paintbrush, and you're gonna take this and you can kind of cut it to the size of this, but leave it a little bit bigger. All right, now that we have it cut out, we're gonna put some glue on this side. All right, so you're gonna get a little paintbrush, or you can use your fingers, it's fine, whatever you like. So get a bit of that paste onto your paintbrush and just start painting it on to that cardboard there. All right, once you have some of the glue on here, you're gonna take your tissue paper and you're gonna just slide it on top of here. And you can just wrap it around. Once again, you have to be too picky about it. Okay, wrap it around. You can start shaping it to your arm, so you can start squeezing it down here at the bottom to pinch it to have more of your arm shape. So pinch it down like that. It'll kind of hold, it's cardboard, it's going to hold pretty well, so you can start shaping it to your arm. So just squeeze it around, and we'll get to holding that bit better after, but just give it a basic shape. So then you're going to take, all right, so once you have some glue on this side, just take another piece of tissue paper and stick it on top of that. Do your Mod Podge, your paper mache, and then you're going to paint over it to kind of seal it down, and then you're going to paint the back here to seal it down. You also can use tape just to tape this part down. You can use tape to put these parts together if you want. Same thing, you're just going to take it and wrap it around, kind of stick it down onto the glue, wrap it around the back. You can cut off any excess if you find that's a hassle to deal with, but you can just pull it to the back. And once again, you can tape these down, you can cut it off, glue it, whichever you prefer, whatever you have around the house. I'm not trying to make this complicated. It's supposed to be an easy, quick Halloween costume at the very last minute. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Plus, people just keep them out at a distance and they won't see the flaws. You're good. So when you have this second layer, you're going to start pinching in spots, kind of making like a veiny look down it. So this doesn't have to be precise, just wherever you see a spot, just start pulling at it, you can loosen up the paper so it comes up a little easier. Just start making little creases, little veins through it to make it look a little bit more like armor. All right, and once you have it wrinkled to your liking, you're gonna put another thing of glue on top of this. And just to show you, I just taped the back of this. Yes, chaotic, I know. You can do it much cleaner if you want, but this is just the beginning. I just wanted it held back. You can kind of go back with glue and kind of make it prettier if you want, but no one's gonna see this side. It's fine. As long as it stays together, you're good. Once again, not a pro here, so it's good by my standards. If you're a professional at this, yeah, you can take more time with it if you want. But I have chronic pain, chronic illness, so when I go to do something, I want it done fast. Yes, I want it done right, I want it done good, but if it's just something for, you know, like Halloween, something simple, I want to try to do it and get it done so I'm not overdoing it for myself. So, you know, I want it to look good, but I also don't want to feel awful by the time I'm done. So you're going to take your glue and you're going to go over this top layer. All right, and then once you got that done, you can just let it dry. If you're impatient, like I usually am, you can use a hair dryer and just dry that really quickly. If you're in like a rush, if you're not, it's probably only gonna take like 10, maybe 15 minutes for it to air dry, so you can just leave it alone and you can get started on the next part. So if you don't wanna order shells or you're not somewhere where you can get shells, I'm thinking you can probably just use, once again, some cardboard. So just cut it out to the size you want, but maybe just make it a little bit bigger so when you fold it, it's gonna look like the size that you actually want on your piece of armor. So this doesn't have to be precise because you're gonna layer them up. So just make a little bit like of a feather-like shape or a little bit of a shell shape, like a mussel shell is what I'm using. So you can make just like a teardrop shape. You can trace this out first if you want, or print a template out and trace them and do them. Once again, I just don't have time for that. I'm lazy. So if you're more professional, go ahead. I love it. So get something like this, and what you're gonna do is just kind of bend it in on itself so it has a little bit of strength. So it's a little bit like 3D. So then you can just take this part and then you can glue it. This is my premium one. You can just glue it on here. It's gonna look pretty similar at the end. No one's gonna go around touching it. If they do, they're weird. Tell them to back off. It's fine. So yeah, this is probably cheaper if you don't want to go online and order some, if you don't live somewhere where you can get shells. Most people don't. You can just make it with cardboard, not a big deal. Or whatever you have around the house. If you have plastic from old containers, same thing, just cut it into the right shape, bend it a little. Once you glue it, it's gonna look great. All right, so we let it dry, and now you're gonna need some glue. You can use any kind of glue you like, super glue, normal glue. I like the hot glue gun because it works really fast. It's just quick, efficient, easy. But if you're using it, especially if you're a kid, have someone watch over you while you're using this. It's really hot. You can burn yourself on the glue gun itself or on the glue. So maybe even get like your paintbrush and use this side to poke things down so you're not accidentally using your finger and dipping it into the glue. I've burnt myself way too many times. Just be careful. So I like to start taking the shells and start like placing them just to have an idea of how I want it to look. It doesn't have to be a specific way, whichever you like best, go ahead. What I did was I put the bigger ones at the top here, and I kind of went by the angle. So if this one's turning in, I have it on this side, and for the opposite side, I have the one turning this way. So I put the bigger ones at the top, and then I kind of layer over some small ones going over top, and you can go as far down as you want. You can put as many as you want. You can put whatever direction if you prefer it going up this way. It's up to you. It's just for fun. It's just a silly Halloween costume. Do whatever you like. Okay, so I'm gonna start placing them to see how I want them done, and then I'm gonna start gluing them onto the actual piece. All right, so we have our first piece on, so I just glued around the edges here, and then what I'm gonna do is kind of glue around here just to hold on a bit tighter. And so then I'm gonna keep going across with different shells, and then once I have those all across, I'm gonna take other shells and start layering them on top, just slightly. And once again, this is your project. Whichever way you want it to look, it's gonna look great. It's fine. All right, so we got the top level done. So we're gonna start adding other pieces just layer on top of these to kind of look like a scaled look. Once again, put them however you like, how it looks best. Obviously, I'm not the most crafty person. Like, I don't take it too seriously. So anyone out there who's great at crafts, obviously your precision is gonna be better and you're gonna have it a little bit fancier, more done properly. I just wanted something to throw together fast, quick if you needed something on the go, you have to go to a party, you're not feeling great, you need to get something done quickly, and you have a lot of money to go out and spend on a Halloween costume you're gonna wear once. All right, so your second layer is on there, and you can keep going all the way down if you'd like. I'm just gonna stop at this amount. That's all I have patience for right now, and I'm already feeling a little rough. So that's enough for me. That's just the amount I wanna do. Just wanna keep it simple. Maybe another time we'll do it all the way down. But for now, we're just doing the top. You can keep going. It's whatever you like. Okay, so next what I did, I used the glue gun and I kind of like enhanced the little ripples we made. So I just take the glue gun and kind of go all the way down and define them. Just sort of a little popping out a little bit more, so when you paint them, it stands out. All right, and with the glue gun, I just went down and put some glue along just to make it a little bit more bold, make it stand out a little bit more, make it a little bit more like metal looking. I don't know, just give it some texture. Okay, and so then we start painting, and I used 3 different colors. I used black, white, and red. So I mixed the colors. I mixed black and white just to make a little bit of a gray color. You can do it as dark or as light as you want. Just mix those. I covered the whole thing in that color first, and then I went over it with like a little bit of a lighter gray. So just mix the black and the white to a lighter gray. Just go over it in a few spots. And then because I was doing a Targaryen inspired armor, I just added little flicks of red. So I just took a dark red and I mixed it in with the black to make it a little deeper, a little darker, a little less obvious in your face. But if you just want to use plain red, go right ahead. And then you just start speckling it through, kind of like this one. You just start adding the colors wherever you like. And there you go. And then you start forming it to your arm. So just keep forming it, and if you find it's too big, you just take it in the back, just glue it, tape it so it's at the structure you like, and then so it fits on your arm. What I did, I took hair elastics, I put along the front and glued it, or you can put in the back, glue it here, so you can slip your arm in, put one up top and one in the middle. You can also take string or ribbon and have it cut so you have a piece of string on this side, here, and here. You glue them on either sides, so then when you put it on, the strings come around and you can tie it. So that's a nice option as well, and it's going to be less restricting than these elastics because they get quite tight. So having a string or something like that, having a ribbon would be a nice touch to do, and you can just glue it on there. And then you're done. Easy peasy. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's a bit chaotic, but hopefully it's a little bit of a fun craft that maybe you can do. Maybe you'll wear it out. Maybe it's just something fun and spooky to do during the spooky season. All right, thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye.